Dear students, today I am going to discuss nuclear chemistry. Nuclear chemistry is the subject matter of nuclear transformations, transmutation of elements, physical, chemical, nuclear properties of different isotopes resulted. Chemical kinetics of radioactive decay will also be studied. Atom is the minute particle of the elemental matter. In the atom, nucleus is the very minute part which is present at the center, whose radius is very small, which is in the range of 10 power minus 13 centimeters range. Whereas the atom radius is 10 power minus 8 centimeters range. Here, two types of reactions we find. One is the chemical reactions and another is the nuclear reactions. In chemical reactions, electrons are involved. In the nuclear reactions, nucleons are involved. Nucleons means protons and neutrons which are present at the center. There is a large distinction between chemical reactions and nuclear reactions. In chemical reactions, the energy change is only in the range of 10 power 5 calories, whereas nuclear reactions, which is in the order of 10 power 10 calories. Chemical reaction rates are affected by the external factors like temperature, pressure, and catalyst, etc. And in the case of nuclear reactions, which are independent of these external factors. Chemical reactivity depends on the chemical environment at the valence electrons, whereas the nuclear reactivity is independent of the chemical environment or the number of electrons, whether it is the combined state or uncombined state. Here, chemical reactions are balanced only in terms of mass, whereas nuclear reactions are to be balanced in terms of mass and energy. Composition of the nucleus. Nucleus is made up of protons and neutrons, and these are called nucleons. More than 30 nucleons so far discussed, and mainly these protons and neutrons are called nucleons only. These are the short-lived particles which are mesons, pion, positrons, neutrino, etc. And these are not considered as the fundamental particles of the nucleus. Only protons and neutrons are considered as the fundamental particles of the nucleus. The nucleus or nuclei is represented with the Z and A. This is the atomic number which is used as subscript. This is the mass number which is used as superscript. This is the nuclear representation. Certain terminology we come across, those are isotopes, isobars, isotones, isodiaphers, nuclear isomers. First we'll discuss isotopes. Isotopes are the nucleides of same element having different mass numbers but same atomic number. Example: protium, deuterium, tritium. Carbon 6, 13, carbon 6, 14, carbon 6 and 12. So these are the different nucleides of the same element having different mass numbers but same atomic number. Second one, isobars. Isobars are the nucleates of different elements having the same mass number but different atomic numbers. Potassium 19, 40, 20, that is the calcium 40, argon say 18, 40. These are the isobars, same mass number. Next, isotones. Isotones. Isotones are the nucleates of different elements having different atomic and mass numbers. So nitrogen 17, oxygen 18, and fluorine 19. Here the A minus Z is the neutron number. All these isotones having equal number of neutrons. Next, fourth one, nuclear isotones. Say for example, thorium 90, 230, 2 say thorium 90, 232. They differ in the nucleates of the same element having same atomic and mass numbers but difference in their nuclear energy states. Nuclear isodiapers. Isodiapers. Nucleates of different elements having different atomic and mass numbers but equal difference between neutron and proton. Take the example of uranium 238, 92, thorium 90, 234, 234. So 146 is the neutron number, minus 92, 54, and 144 is the neutron number, 90, 54 is the, this is the equal difference between the neutron and proton. Dimensions of the nucleus. Of the nucleus. In the atom as well as nucleus is considered with a sphere. In the nucleus, all the nucleons are closely embedded, very closely packed, whose density is expected to be very, very high. And we'll see that here the dimensions of the nucleus. So radius is directly proportional to the mass number. Mass number to the power of cube root, and R naught is the proportionality constant. R naught value was found to be 1.4 into 10 power minus 13 centimeters, or 1.4 Fermi units. So this is the radius range is in the 10 power minus 13 centimeters, or 1 Fermi units range. And whereas the volume of the is 4 by 3 pi r cube, 4 by 3 pi r naught a cube, 4 by 3 pi r naught cube a. This is the volume. The typical nucleus volume is around 10 power minus 36 cc cubic centimeter. Density. Density is A by N is the nuclide of 1 and this is the volume of this. A by N 3 by 4 pi r naught cube. A get cancelled, all are the constants, constant value. This range is 10 power 14 gram per cc. Except hydrogen, all the nucleus density is very high, which is the nearly 10 power 14 gram per cc. Now we'll take up an example. Question: calculate radius, volume and density of calcium. Is 1.4 into 10 power minus 13 centimeters. Is A 40 cube root of 40, whose value comes out to be 4.45 into 10 power minus 13 centimeters. And volume of this 4 by 3, 22 by 7 r cube is 4.45 into 10 power minus 13. Because this comes out to be 3.69 into 10 power minus 37 cc. Density A by M is the 40 Avogadro number, and volume of this 3.69 and 69 to 10 power minus 37. This is around 1.8 into 10 power 14 gram per cc. Next part of the discussion is the nuclear stability. So if you see all the elements, most of the elements are stable and other elements are unstable. Unstable elements, generally the mass number more than 200, they become unstable, and mass number more than 230, all the nucleates are found to be radioactive. Means they disintegrate on their own, they are quite unstable. The radioactive phenomena is due to the spontaneous emission of alpha, beta, gamma rays from the unstable nucleates. So we have to discuss the stability, instability, and if instability is more, radioactivity is more, and such type of phenomena we discussed in terms of one mass defect, binding energy. And binding energy per nucleon. These aspects we need to discuss. So generally the experimental mass of atoms, say, in which electrons are there, electron, protons, neutrons, is found to be lower than the calculated mass. Say if it is the experimental mass we have to express in terms of electron, number of electrons, mass of the electron, and mass of the protons, number of mass of the protons and number of mass of the neutrons. This is the one. Here me plus mp itself is the mass of the hydrogen. Now we can write this Z mh plus a minus Z is the mass of neutrons. This is the calculated mass. If it is m prime is the experimental mass, so what I mentioned, experimental mass is always smaller, m minus m prime, the positive value. So during the formation of nuclide from its constant nucleons, mass defect takes place, and this mass defect is noticed in terms of its stability. Means, according to the Einstein, E is equal to mc square or delta mc square. That whatever the mass defect is there, that amount of mass is going to be destroyed and equivalent amount of energy is released and stability is resulted. So for example, if delta m is 1 amu, the amount of mass resulted, if you can substitute in this, 931.5 million electrons, where 1 amu is equal to 1.66 into 10 power minus 24 grams, and c is the light velocity, 3 into 10 power 10 centimeters per second. While substituting, we'll get ergs and transform into million electron volts. 1 million electron volt is equal to 1.602 into 10 power minus 6 ergs. From this, we can transform into the energy in terms of million electron volts. If 1 amu is destroyed and 931.5 million electron volts amount of energy is released. Now we'll take up an example in the case of the helium nuclide. Helium, here 2 electrons, 2 protons, 2 neutrons which are there. Now you can calculate the mass of electrons, 2 into 0.000548. This is 0.001086. Mass of proton, 2 protons are there, 1.007277, 2.014554. Mass of neutron, 2 into 10 power 2, 1.008665, 2.017330. It comes out to be 4.03297. This is the calculated m. Here m prime is the experimental mass is 4.0039. The mass defect delta m 0.02907. This is the mass defect. We can calculate the amount of energy released, 0.02907 into 931.5. We'll be getting 28.33 million electrons. So this amount of energy is expected released during the formation of helium nuclide from its constant nucleons, that is 2 protons and 2 neutrons. The same amount of, exactly the same amount of energy is really required to break this stable nucleus into constant nucleons, that is 2 protons and 2 neutrons. If this concept is taken into consideration, the relative stability of different elements can be explained. But one difficulty here is as mass number increases, the mass defect also increases, and as mass defect increases, and amount of energy released is also more, and we cannot simply say that the higher mass defect where higher binding energy is present. They are in fact unstable. That is the reason why a little modified form of the concept is used to explain the relative stability of the nucleus. That is, the binding energy per nucleon really explains the relative stability of the different nucleus. If you take the binding energy per nucleon versus the mass number, this type of the graph which is resulted. And these are the medium size mass number nucleus, most of the transition elements, whose range is 8.5 million electron volts. Here iron, Fe 26, 56, it is found to have the 8.79. Highest binding energy per nucleon is found in the case of the iron. Means if this iron nuclide is formed from its constant nucleons, 26 protons and 30 neutrons. So the amount of energy expected is 8.79. This is the per nucleon, of course, into 56. It is expected to be 492.24 million electron volts. If you take 1 gram of the iron in which 2.5, nearly 2.5 and 21 nucleates are expected to exist, and per atom the amount of energy released is this, and 492.24 into 2.5 into 10 to the 21, the amount of energy is expected to be 10 to the 24 million electron volts. Huge, very, very huge amount of energy. This is almost equivalent to the atom bomb. When an atom bomb is dropped, this amount of energy is released. This is the iron atom bomb. If at all this iron nucleus is formed from constant nucleons, this is the this is the amount of energy which is expected for the case of 1 gram of iron. Really, converse is true. The same amount of energy is really required to break the nucleus into constant nucleus. So this is the 492.24 million electron volts amount of energy really required to break the iron nucleus. This concept really explains the relative stability of the medium mass number nucleus, higher mass number nucleus. Higher mass number nucleus are unstable, medium sized mass number like iron, cobalt, nickel, most of the transition elements are stable. And it fails to account the relative stability of the lower mass number nucleus. So, relative stability and binding energy. If you really see the type of isotopes, this is naturally unstable. If it captures by this is resulting the 20.4 million electron volts amount of energy is released. Whereas the same stable, this is the stable nucleate, if forcefully one more neutron is added, this is the unstable nucleate is resulted, which requires 0.8 million electron volts. This is the exoergic, this is endoergic. This clearly shows that this is unstable, forcefully neutron is added. packing fraction. Second aspect of discussion is the packing fraction, P. An equation was proposed by the scientist Aston. Actual mass of an isotope and its mass number, that is A, mass number into 10 power 4. This equation was proposed to explain the relative stability of the nucleus. Packing fraction really indicates the very packing nature of the nucleus, when the protons and neutrons are very closely embedded, and if they are, say, very orderly packed, the